This is Keith. He makes YouTube videos about his photography journey under the name Clueless YouTuber Goes Out. And this is his camera, the Ricoh GR 3X. And in this video we're going to challenge ourselves in an ultimately photography battle. Here are the rules. Since Keith will be using his Ricoh GR 3X, I will be using a similar camera, my Fujifilm X100F. Now, why are these cameras so similar, you may ask? Well, they both can be used with film simulations, which makes the look of the outcoming photos very similar to each other. But of course they still have their differences in quality and handling. This is why we decided on 3 different themes to spice things up: portrait, night street and long exposure. For each challenge we'll pick one photo which comes straight out of camera. For someone who loves editing, this is going to be tough. But let's not waste any more time and get started. For the portrait challenge, I wanted to do something familiar. So I became my own model. Self-portraits are my thing after all. So for the concept I have in mind, I want to implement some lighting and shadows and do this with my arms being in motion all the time and use these to create some interesting lighting and shadow effects. So let's go. I kicked things off with a dark background, improvising with what I had, our living room curtain. Not exactly a high-end studio setup, but with a little creativity it did the job. For lighting I used my Hammeron 150C, dialing a warm soft glow to create some moody vibes. Then it was time to shoot. And of course, I couldn't make it easy for myself. I threw in some weird experimental poses just to see what would happen. And I mean, really weird. Since my app refused to cooperate with remote shooting, I went for the good old interval timer. It snapped a set number of shots within a specific time frame. Honestly, a lifesaver for self-portraits. So I took a bunch of photos with a dark background and also with a white background, which kind of looks like this. But I'm not sure which one I like best, so I'm going to transfer these onto my computer and have a look at them, so let's go. After reviewing the photos on my computer, one thing was clear: the darker background just worked. I love how it creates a contrast and lets my skin stand out, creating a striking effect. I'm really happy with the results and I think the warm sunset glow added the final touch. For the next topic, I wanted to try something new. The first idea that came to my mind: motion. Something fluid, abstract, unpredictable. Long shutter speed felt like the perfect tool to capture that sense of movement while creating something visually striking. And then it clicked.
Tschö, ich bin weg.
Wohin?
Ja, laufen.
Warte, ich komm mit. My fiancé had just started running again, so why not make that the heart of a challenge? With the sun casting a golden glow, we headed out for the shoot. Magda ran the same 3 meters again and again. And I mean a lot of times. Seriously, she deserves an award for patience. After taking a lot of photos with different angles, I came up with these photos as my favorites. And I really liked how they have turned out. I love the motion being very visible in each image, though I had quite a struggle to get the face sharp so that the eye could have something to focus on. Nevertheless, I also like the blurriness as it adds to the concept of this challenge. With 2 challenges down, only one remained. And this one would be my hardest challenge yet. The Night Street Photography Challenge. Street photography was never really my thing, and I knew this would push me way out of my comfort zone. Shooting at night on the streets, yeah, this was going to be tough. To prepare, I did a quick test run on my way to work, just to see what I could capture. It turns out, not much. Finding a strong composition while waiting for the perfect moment, way harder than I expected. But I kept reminding myself, this was just a test, the real thing would be very different, right? Well, little did I know. A few days later, I headed to the city center, determined to give it another shot. But there was one small problem. Daylight was still going strong. Even with the sun buried behind thick clouds, the city wasn't giving me that moody night aesthetic I wanted. But I figured, why not try anyway? After all, the best way to improve is to just start shooting. I stopped at a big shopping window, its bright light spilling onto the street, just as a skater sped by. A lucky shot, but perfectly timed. Off to a good start. Next, I made my way to Düsseldorf's Japanese district, hoping to capture something interesting. I spotted a chef stepping outside for a smoke and tried to frame the shot, but I wasn't sure about the composition. Walking further, I found a restaurant with people waiting outside. I framed the scene, waited for movement and snapped. It kinda lacked a clear subject, but I still liked the feel of it. Back in the shopping area, I focused on the crowds rushing by, trying to capture the city's movement. I played with storefront lighting, using silhouettes of passers-by to add depth. The ads in the background were a bit distracting, but I liked the energy. Then I saw a woman at the end of the street, a great subject. I pressed the shutter, but she was way too far away. Before I could get closer, she was gone. A few minutes later, back in the Japanese street, I spotted some chefs working in an open kitchen and tried to capture the scene through the window. I couldn't get close enough, but the shot still had something to it. By the time I returned to the shopping district, my body was freezing and I was out of ideas. I experimented with street lamp reflections, catching figures walking through the pools of light. Surprisingly, I loved these results. Finally, at the tram station, I saw one last scene. A quiet path everyone avoided. I framed it, waited, and took the shot. And with that, the challenge was done. Since we could only pick one photo per challenge, here are my final picks. I went for a simple yet striking shot. My hands add movement and contrast, and there's something about the expression that just works. This one was tough. At first I wasn't sure about the composition, but the more I looked at it, the more I appreciated how it balances motion, blur, and just enough sharpness to keep it interesting. I chose the restaurant shot because it captures the energy of her day perfectly. It may not have the neon city lights I initially wanted, but there's so much more happening in the frame. Plus, stepping out of my comfort zone to capture this through the window makes it even more rewarding. Now it's your turn. Let me know in comments below which shot is your favorite. And of course you'll want to check out Keith's video to see how he tackled the challenges. Oh, hold on, I have to take this.
Hey Maike, I just finished the video, so please don't delete my channel, it's already uploaded.
Alright, let's head over to his video and don't forget to vote for your favorite shots. I will see you in the next one.